Hey everybody, it's the Beers of War. Welcome back to another episode. We are actually doing a continuation part of pop cultural icons that we have lost. And this one actually hit me pretty hard and everything. And so today we're actually going to be talking about the late, great Ozzy Osbourne. He was the lead singer of a band called Black Sabbath, had an amazing career with them, and he also went solo on his own career, did an amazing career at that. So we're here to talk about the man himself right here. Look at that. I've had this shirt for like over 20 years, man. I've been love it. Kick back, relax, crack open a beer, and enjoy the show.
So when you got your initial reactions, when you first found out that Ozzy had passed away, what were your initial reactions?
It was really a mixed ball of emotions for me because when I had seen it on my phone, I was like my heart just sank. It just dropped. I was like, this guy just put on a farewell concert, and you know, uh, he went out like a badass. Let's just say that. All right. In a way, I'm not surprised either that he had passed away. And the more information that kept coming out, he wanted to be sure that he was clear, especially during the concert. He didn't take any more pain medications, anything. He wanted to make sure he can. And when you were watching some of the clips, I didn't get to watch the whole show just yet, but I've seen some of the clips that they put out with the songs and everything, especially when he was singing Mama, I'm Coming Home, which is one of my favorites of Ozzy Osbourne. That right there, man, just got me. And it's just like the more I kept watching and everything, I was like, it's like he knew, you know, he knew. And he was 76 years old.
Yeah.
He's had an amazing career. And I've actually had the privilege to go to a concert. Matter of fact, my first concert I have ever been to was my first time in Vegas, was an Ozzy Osbourne concert. And I had an amazing time at that concert. Got to surf the crowd and everything. Got to I seen some stuff that you can't really speak on YouTube about and everything, but it was an amazing concert, dude. And I still have the ticket somewhere. Unfortunately, it kind of got sunbaked in the car, but I still kept it, and I still have the CD, the case, and everything. And a couple of years go by, and he comes out with the Osbournes, the TV shows. Like, to me, it was really the first reality show, and it was probably the only reality show I ever watched. Pretty entertaining to watch and everything. Had a good time. And I remember I was taking vacation out, and we had found a map to the stars, and I wanted to see Ozzy Osbourne's star, and I found it. I got a picture of it and everything, and I was like, "Well, we also got his address to the house." Now, mind you, this is around when the Osbournes are just like really starting. It's starting to be big and everything. If you've watched the Osbourne show, um, you don't want to approach their house, at least without something happening. So my son Adrian and his cousin, they wanted to go up there. And I said, what's going to happen when you go up to the gate, right? Because it's going to happen. So sure enough, they got out of the car, they went up to it to try to knock on it, got sprayed water everywhere from left and right. There's an automatic system that would shoot out and hit them and everything, just like it did in the Osbournes and whatnot. And sometimes, from what I've seen, on there'd be days where Jack would be there and he would purposely do it to people that would walk up to the house and everything. So kids got sprayed. Got a picture of Ozzy Osbourne's star and everything. Got to see him in concert. He's probably the like my favorite artist, and my top three, of course, and everything. So finding out that him passing away and everything was like, it kind of goes back to one of our conversations of like celebrity deaths, because he also was a celebrity. That really hit me hard and everything. I've been doing nothing but listening to his music, and I never get tired of it or anything like that. And it was just like you knew, in a way, you just knew it was about that time. But like I said, he may have passed away. His music lives on. The guy went out like a badass, in my opinion. And not a lot of rock and rollers or heavy metalists or whatever you want to call them can do that. And he did. That's my take on it.
I was sad for him. You had seen pictures and stuff of him, especially after the back surgery, that really showed how frail and fragile he had become. And to see him go out on stage, it was almost reminiscent of Freddie Mercury at Live Aid. You know how Freddie's dying of AIDS, like ravaged his body and got out there and gave the performance of his life. We just witnessed the same thing. He knew he was dying.
Yeah.
And I think at some point when you get to that point, especially when you're dealing with illness, you know when when your time is approaching. Good vibes, love, wishes, prayers I could send out to Sharon and his family. Sharon, one of the things he did in a video I watched before he passed away was him talk about how Sharon stuck with him. Should have left all sorts of times, is what he says. And she stayed with him and took care of him, and even in the illness, even in the sickness, stayed by his side. When he readily admitted, I feel like he'll be missed. He comes from an era of music that just flat out doesn't exist anymore. And I think what we forget about Ozzy is not just the fact that he was shock value, but he was very much a talent. I remember a music student when I was at Stephen F. Austin. There was a big music school. He said the one person who's never off pitch when they're singing is Ozzy. So he was not just a shock guy that did stuff to get a reaction. He was very much a talented musician and one that will be missed. And I pray for peace and comfort to his family. I pray for a peaceful rest for him. He's earned it.
Amen to that. Yeah.
So
Godfather heavy metal, Godfather of heavy metal is what they called him. But yeah, prayers go out to him and his family. It's very well said, Kevin. How about you, Matilda? What you got?
When before he had passed, I know I've seen some clips of the concert that last concert he did,
Yeah.
and just by the way I could tell he was sitting in that chair on stage. I could tell that because after he passed, I thought about those pictures. Like you said, he knew. I know he had the Parkinson's, and then he had all the damage he's done throughout the years with the drugs and biting off heads of bats. Yeah, he was influential in a lot of that music. I mean, go back and not very many people you could say had a really great Hall of Fame career as a group or a band, and then go solo and be just as big, if not bigger. And both Black Sabbath and Ozzy were like mega stars back in their era, and even Ozzy up to today. I mean, we wouldn't have Ozzy if it wasn't for Post Malone discovering him for that song. The millennials will get that joke.
But I was like, where you going with this, man? Don't you?
When Ozzy and Post Malone did that collab a couple years ago, a lot of the younger people were like, oh, it's so cool that Post Malone's out here discovering all these artists and bringing them all up and giving them their props. And yeah, and I shit you not, that is what was being posted. None of these people knew who Ozzy was. And
Sad,
Ozzy is 20 times at least larger than Post Malone will ever be.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. No offense to Post Malone or anything like that, but even Post Malone would probably say something like that, you know, because he loved Ozzy. He respected Ozzy. He actually loves rock and roll and heavy metal and everything.
And even to this day, I mean, I think I like a lot. See, I can't say it because I don't know. I say I like the Black Sabbath music really well. And then some of his solos, I don't know which one I would say that I like better because they both had their good songs.
Well, you got to say, man.
mean, the one duet he did with Lita Ford, I like that song.
Close My Eyes Forever.
Close My Eyes Forever. Yep.
I think I like a lot of those when they do the collabs with people and stuff.
You've done a lot with
I
artists.
like when they do that. And it just because it changes up their tone and their feel and their music, and you get to see a different aspect of them. And so Ozzy being Ozzy, but that's what I can remember about him.
He may as well be one of the very few, if not the only, to get inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. The guy really can put on a show too, you know? And like talking about collaborating and everything, he would collaborate with other artists, even his own guitarist, Zach Wild, which probably one of the greatest guitar players of all time. I'm just going to say that right now. Like he even like yeah, he's awesome, and he even has his own band, which I believe was called Black Label Society, and
Yes.
Ozzy done a song with him too, and everything. And it's just like this Ozzy can sing whatever, and I will just listen to it, you know. And they always considered him as a heavy metal artist and everything. And there was a softer side to Ozzy too in some of his music. We've heard the ballads, and even in some of his newer music, I've heard some of the ballads and everything. He's still just he never ever wanted to just stop singing it. Like the guy said, he would do it till the day he dies. And guess what? He
He
pretty
did.
much did. He did. That man lived up true to his word. My respect goes out to him. It really does. And it was a really sad thing for me to, or for anybody for that matter, especially who loved his music and everything. And like I said, our hearts go out to his family, his friends, and everything. And you know,
I got a couple more things
oh,
before we do our toast.
go for
The
it,
one
brother.
thing I disagree with him about was the success of his reality show, because if it wasn't successful, we would never have had the Kardashians. I think that led the way to a lot of those in family shows where they saw that it was a way to make money because people wanted to know about the ins and outs of these celebrity families. That and the Buffalo Bills drafting OJ Simpson. That probably didn't help either. If you ever seen that theory. And then did anybody happen to check to see if at the time of Ozzy's passing, if a thunderstorm popped up over Keith Richards for the quickening? I I saw a meme the other day, and every time a celebrity dies, see the Grim Reaper at the call machine, he pulls out the celebrity, and finally the Grim Reaper goes, "Is Keith Richards even in this thing?" So, sorry, I had to add a little bit of humor into this, but we can carry on with our toast to Ozzy.
Hey, all right, man. Well, hey, to Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy
One of
Osbourne.
the-
To Ozzy.
Oh man, good stuff.